Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Your Creepiest Corner. Today we have with us
Tristan Risk. Hi.
Now, Tristan, you are a very multifaceted artist within the horror community. What would you describe as your sort of top roles within it?
I would say I'm most known for being an actor, but I am also a writer, a fledgling director, and an enthusiast of the genre, you might say, an avid consumer of media, mostly printed page.
So you mentioned that you're an actor. Maybe we'll start there, since that's what you're most well known for. What are some of the projects people might recognize you from?
Hi, I'm Tristan Risk. You might recognize me from such horror projects as American Mary, where I talk like this a lot and I look a lot more done up. Aliens Ate My Homework. ABCs of Death 2 in T is for Torture Porn as Yumi, the tentacle vagina monster. Other notable mentions include title character of the film Ayla, Val from Frankenstein Created Bikers, and more recently also Val from Amazon Hotbox.
Wow, so that is a lot of roles people might know you from. What would you say is the character that challenged you the most?
I would say the character that I've played that has challenged me the most would likely be Madame Pong from Aliens Ate My Homework, where I'm in full facial prosthetics. I've got a costume on, I've got hand prosthetics, sclera contacts, teeth. It was challenging. It was great to stay in character because I loved the character from the books, but I also had to be very cognizant that there were underage actors on set, and I didn't want to be the bad guy who was teaching everybody foul language. So I just learned to be really articulate about things without cussing, and that was hard. It was harder than wearing the prosthetics and creating the character, but I like a good challenge.
So now you mentioned fledgling director.
Yes. Well, funny you should mention fledgling director because I was lucky enough to collaborate with other bad cookies on my first film, which was Parlor Tricks. It's both written and directed by me, although I did try to get Topher to direct it, if I recall correctly. I was like, just you direct it, but here are my notes. And then Topher and Jordan and Burns all said to me, well, you're kind of already going in a direction, maybe you should just do the thing. So I was really lucky to get that kind of support from the gents because I wasn't convinced I could do it because I haven't been to film school. I don't know about filters or lenses. I still don't. And I didn't think that I was equipped with the technical mind to do it. And now I realize it's just bossing people around, and I'm exceptionally good at that. This director thing didn't pan out as a future for me as a dominatrix, so.
Let's talk a bit more about Parlor Tricks. What sort of inspired you for the story behind it?
I'm really lucky because all of my cast were who I had in mind when I was writing the characters. And I just thought about, all those families who used to practice spiritualism and occultism back in the Victorian era in the 1920s when it was in the rage to, have an Ouija board at your party, or your main room of your house was where you went and saw your dead relatives. It wasn't a living room. It was fashionable to have a funeral room in your house because people were dropping dead all the time. So I thought this was just kind of an interesting era to kind of pluck from.
Now, do you have any other projects that you've started writing or directing?
I have got some other projects that I have been working on. I've been developing a feature script, which is a female buddy stoner comedy, because I am a female stoner who likes to hang out with my buddies and laugh. And I noticed all of those films are kind of more dude-centric. And I'm like, you know what? Women are the biggest stoners out there. Think about the things that ladies generally deal with, and they're like, I don't want the mommy juice. I'm just going to, I don't hate my kids. Yay. Love you, babies. Yeah, we're going to draw, we're going to color. So, yeah. I felt something that was kind of more feminine friendly. And then I put strippers in it because, right from what you know, and I know a lot about strippers. Yeah. Being part of the Clear Shoe crew myself. So I'm excited to be working on that. I've got another short project called House of Hiss that I'm working on, and I've got a few other projects that are in the works right now but are at the point where I can divulge the secrets, but there's
All right.
many plates spinning. I'm really enjoying the multiple plate action.
What sort of drew you to horror in life, in the art?
I think the biggest thing with horror is I was fascinated by it, but I was also scared of it. But because I had that fascination for it, it was really hard to look away from it. You gonna come hang out with me, buddy? Yeah, you are. And yeah, you can come up for a snuggle. Yes, you can. Yeah, I also found as a kid I was picked on like a lot in high school and elementary school. I don't know if I had the invisible target on my back, but apparently I had like bully bait.
Oh.
So a lot of the times I was outcast. I didn't have friends. I had other kids throwing rocks at me or trying to make me eat dirt. And so a lot of times when I looked at the monsters, I thought that they were like really misunderstood and that nobody loved them. And I felt bad for them because I knew how that felt. I felt like a monster most of my childhood and teenage years. And it was an empathetic thing when I would see Frankenstein being chased. I was like, but why? He just wanted to pet the kitten. And seeing the creature from the Black Lagoon, the Gill Man, it's like he just fell in love with the pretty girl and didn't realize that like there was a social system of caste, interspecies like, that he didn't know about because nobody told him because he lives in a lagoon. So I really liked a lot of the aspects of the dark stuff of it, and I felt it gave me a chance to explore those dark sides of my own personality and made me feel less of a shitty person for having those kinds of inclinations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heavy stuff for an 8-year-old.
So who's this little guy we got here now?
This is Zilla. He's a bearded dragon, and he's one of the many members of our scaly household. We have this bearded dragon, 1 roughneck monitor lizards, and 4 boa constrictors, and 1 cat, so it's literally the House of Hiss.
You recently got a lot of press for something to do with snakes.
I did. My partner had the brilliant suggestion that we should start a snake yoga class because someone had tagged us, well, multiple someones had tagged us in a snake yoga viral video, and we looked at that and he said, but why not us? Vancouver is the epicenter of yoga. If you follow Lululemon at all, Chip Wilson lives down in the Point Grey area in a very large palatial mansion that was built on the backs of many sweaty yoga people. So it made sense to just kind of combine our love of herpetology with our love of yoga.
So you've worked with a lot of indie talent in Canada. Do you have any fun stories from sets working with folks?
Oh, I got stories. I really enjoyed working with the gentlemen from Astron 6 on the editor, and they were really, really sweet. And when they sent me the script to read, I was like, awesome! So I read the script, and there's one part where my character has a tarantula crawling up her naked body. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I still retained a fear of spiders, but I didn't not want to do the job, so I was like, yes, I am going to do this role. And they're like, you're okay with everything? I'm like, 100%. It didn't occur to me until the day of the spider that I'm like, wow, I'm actually going to have to do this naked. This is like, you have dreams like this. It's like, there I was at work, naked in front of the cast and crew, and they put a big spider on me. But you know what? The spider was great. She stuck little bits of butt fluff to me as she walked up. And it wasn't until after we finished filming the scene I told the directors that I had actually was pretty scared of spiders. And they're like, why didn't you tell us? We would have gotten you a body double. And I'm like, well, first of all, I am way too egocentric to have a body double. I'm like, no, if it's going to be naked on screen, it's going to be me. And then I also didn't want to be that person who welched after saying I was going to do something. So I made sure that I just sucked it up. And now I'm over my fear of spiders. So it was actually very therapeutic. Now they're just like kittens with extra arms. More arms equals more cute.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how cute math works. Snakes are beyond limbs, so therefore they're just like universally cute.
Now, everyone hates this question. I hate it too, but I must ask. What is currently your favorite horror film?
I don't think that's a terrible question. I think that's a good question.
Oh, I find it like choosing between your babies.
Well, I mean, like your babies, there's only one you kind of would like better than the rest, right? So, don't tell the kids. I would say the one that struck me, well, let's just go from last year. I would say Hereditary slammed into me. there was some next level shit that happened in that film that I was not prepared for. Like, I went into that, I'm like, oh, I like Toni Collette, you know, she's really proven herself in front of the camera in a variety of roles, and I love her in horror. And then I saw that, and I was just like, oh, now dollhouses are just that much creepier to me.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could get more effectively creeped out by child toys, because let's face it, children's toys, children in general, can be a little bit, like, creepy. So, yeah, the whole dollhouse thing really. And then, you know, everything else that happens in the rest of the film, the thing with the sister, really, I was unprepared for. And I like that. I like that it shook me up so much. I was just like, oh, I have thoughts. I have thoughts. And normally I don't go for that. Normally I'm more about either cryptozoology, where it's like, you know, big animals eating small dumb humans, because who doesn't love seeing that? But that kind of like gives me like a boner, so it's not really like horror. It's like, yeah, eat all those stupid people, just eat them, people suck. Not all people, just most of them. And then the other ones I like are things that like make you question reality and go, oh God, why do I exist? But Hereditary was just like out of that box for me, and it just kind of like woke me up. Almost choked on popcorn. Thanks, Hereditary.
Yeah.
Toni Collette, you rule.
Now, I know you also do sideshow work.
I do.
So, what is the most dangerous act that you've ever done on stage?
Well, we've had a couple of different stunts that we've done. The whip act, where I'll hold a rose between my teeth, and then the whip holder, my partner Burns the Dragon, will slice the bloom from the stem and it falls. He's never hit me in the face, which is why we're still together. We've done grinder stuff, which can lead to blindness. It hasn't yet. Touch wood.
For the audience, what does grinder stuff mean? They might be thinking of the app.
Oh yeah, this isn't the app. So when I say grinder stuff, my partner will stand behind me with a circular grinder and a piece of metal, and after I do a seductive striptease down to a pasty, thongs, and a high heel, I will allow him to shower me with the sparks. And it's really funny to get a lot of respect from men who weld, who go, you know, I've taken a lot of sparks to the face over the years, and you're taking them up the butt crack, and you're smiling when you do it, so I have a lot of respect for you. The funny thing is, though, after I do that, I get little flecks in my skin, and sometimes I'll be scratching my back, and I'll be like, oh, that's a little piece of metal that's been in my skin for a while. So it's not without risk. I would say probably the most dangerous things that I do right now is anything to do with fire, because fire is universally dangerous, and it's predictable up until a point. And I have been dabbling in sword swallowing. Oh. Yes. I still can't do it in front of people fully yet. It's like when you dance around naked at home, you're like, I'm confident doing this, but then as soon as you like put people in a bar in front of you, you're like, I need more alcohol. This is a PSA. Alcohol plus sword swallowing practice does not mix. Do not do it.
So, I'm sure everyone is wondering, how can they find you on the internet, social media, all that kind of stuff?
Oh, you can find me at thecaravanofcuriosities.com. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter under @LittleMissRisk. And you can also find me on Facebook. So I'm out there on the interwebs. Just Google me, but maybe not at work. Unless you work somewhere cool.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.